How your childhood shapes your adult life. Understanding and growing beyond it. Have you ever wondered why certain patterns, good or bad, keep repeating in your life? Maybe you've struggled with trust, constantly seek approval, or feel stuck in self-doubt without knowing why. Oftentimes, the answer lies in your childhood. Our early experiences create the foundation for how we view the world, build relationships, and process emotions. But here's the empowering truth. While your childhood can influence your adulthood, it doesn't have to define your future. In this video, we'll explore how childhood shapes adulthood, help you recognize the signs of its influence, and offer practical steps to heal and grow. By the end, you'll have the tools to take control of your life and unlock your full potential. Childhood is often referred to as the most formative time of our lives for good reason. From birth to adolescence, our experiences create a blueprint in our brain that determines how we think, behave, and react as adults. If you were fortunate enough to grow up in a stable, nurturing environment full of love, praise, and emotional security, chances are you've carried those strengths into adulthood. You might feel confident, trust easily, and maintain healthy boundaries. But for many, childhood can include moments of instability, criticism, neglect, or even trauma. These experiences often manifest as self-doubt, unhealthy relationship patterns, fear of failure, or an inability to regulate emotions. Even minor incidents like being frequently compared to a sibling or facing constant pressure to succeed can leave lasting imprints. The good news? No matter your past, you can understand, address, and rewrite these patterns to create a healthier and happier life. To understand how childhood affects adulthood, let's break it down into psychological concepts. One of the most significant frameworks is attachment theory, which explains how our relationships with our primary caregivers influence how we connect with others as adults. There are 4 main attachment styles. Secure attachment. Developed when you experience consistent love and emotional availability. You likely have trust and confidence in relationships. Anxious attachment. Stemming from inconsistent caregiving, this style may cause you to fear abandonment and seek constant reassurance. Avoidant attachment. If your caregivers were emotionally distant, you might distance yourself from intimacy and rely heavily on self-sufficiency. Disorganized attachment. Often the result of trauma or unpredictability, this style creates a mix of fear and dependency in relationships. Beyond attachment, childhood also shapes your core beliefs about yourself and the world. For instance, if you were frequently criticized or ignored, you might believe you're not good enough, and carry that feeling into friendships, work, or even how you speak to yourself. Recognizing these patterns is key. Once you identify the link between your past and present, you're already halfway to breaking free. Many people are unaware of how deeply their childhood experiences affect their adult lives. Start by looking at recurring patterns in your emotions, relationships, and behaviors. Do you find it hard to trust others, even when they've done nothing to break your trust? Do you overreact to criticism because it feels like a personal attack? Or do you struggle with perfectionism because you worry you're never good enough? These are just a few signs that your early experiences are at play. Memories, even ones you might not consciously recall, shape your reactions. For example, if you felt unseen or unheard as a child, you might now go to great lengths to gain approval from others, whether through overachievement or people-pleasing. Alternatively, you might shut people out to protect yourself from rejection. The key is learning to pause and reflect. Why do I think or feel this way? Could this stem from something in my past? Recognizing how childhood has influenced your life is powerful, but what's even more empowering is realizing this. Awareness is the first step to change. Understanding these influences isn't about assigning blame to your parents or caregivers. Every family has its challenges, and most parents do their best with the knowledge and resources they have. Instead, it's about taking ownership of your life now. The patterns you've developed may have helped you survive your early years, but they might be holding you back in adulthood. By addressing them, you can let go of the weight of the past and build a future that aligns with your values and dreams. Healing and growth take time, but they're worth the effort. You don't have to stay stuck in the same cycle forever. Let's talk solutions. If you've identified childhood's influence on your adult life, here are actionable steps to help you heal and grow. Self-reflection. Spend time examining your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Journaling can help uncover patterns and connect them to your past. Ask yourself, when did I first feel this way? Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself as you navigate this journey. You're not flawed, you're human. Avoid self-blame and instead focus on encouragement and understanding. Set healthy boundaries. If you've struggled with overgiving or people-pleasing, learn to say no when necessary. Boundaries are an act of self-respect, not selfishness. Embrace mindfulness. Techniques like meditation or breathing exercises can teach you to stay present and manage emotional triggers in healthier ways. Reframe your narrative. Instead of viewing childhood struggles as weaknesses, see them as challenges you overcame. They've made you stronger and more empathetic than you realize. Seek professional help. Therapy isn't just for trauma, it's for growth. A trained therapist can guide you in processing past experiences, reshaping beliefs, and finding healthier ways to cope. Reparent yourself. Think of it as giving yourself the care and compassion you may have missed out on as a child. Nurture yourself, validate your feelings, and treat yourself with kindness. Small, consistent steps will create meaningful change over time. Patience is key. Healing isn't linear, but every effort you make brings you closer to the life you deserve. Your past might have shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. By addressing childhood's impact, you have the power to rewrite the story you tell yourself. For instance, if you've struggled with self-worth, start focusing on what makes you unique and valuable. Celebrate your growth instead of dwelling on mistakes. If fear or self-doubt has held you back, remind yourself of the courage it took to get where you are today. Reclaim your agency. You're no longer the child who had no control over their environment. Now, as an adult, you have the power to create a life of your choosing. Healing from childhood wounds isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about building something beautiful. When you address the past, you open the door to deeper connections, healthier relationships, and greater fulfillment. You might find yourself experiencing more confidence at work, being more vulnerable with your loved ones, or handling challenges with resilience. Most importantly, you'll start to feel at peace with yourself, knowing your worth isn't measured by external validation. This journey isn't always easy, but it's a profound act of self-love. Along the way, remind yourself of this. The hard work you're putting in now is paving the way for the life you've always wanted. Your childhood shapes you, but it doesn't define you. By understanding how early experiences influence your thoughts, beliefs, and actions, you can begin to break free from unhelpful patterns and grow into the person you want to be. The path to healing may feel uncertain, but every small step brings you closer to freedom, peace, and fulfillment. Whether it's through journaling, mindfulness, therapy, or self-compassion, you're giving yourself the gift of transformation. You are not your past. You are the author of your story, and the life you dream of is possible. It starts with understanding, healing, and moving forward one step at a time.